My blissful gorgeous Manu Smriti is the first law book of ancient India when India was known as Bharatvarsha, or golden bird, or heavenly land of 6 punctual seasons pouring out with milk and honey. Before the invasions of British Christians and Muslims and Hunas and Greek Alexander in 300 BCE, it was the law of Manusmriti governing the social life of all people. The language which is used in it is post-Panini Sanskrit. Period of time around about Raja Vikramaditya, about 2000 years ago. Those days we were expanded in 8,300,000 kilometers all the way from Caucasia to Kashmir, Tibet, Nepal to Brahmadesh, which is now known as Myanmar, all the way to Singapore and Bali and Indonesian islands. So according to Western travelers from Ibn Battuta and Al-Baruni and Megasthenes and Chinese travelers as Fayan and Wensang and many others, they all described that Manusmriti-based civilization, culture and religion of the Hindus were highly sophisticated and transparent, highly moral and ethical and well-founded on the ideals and transmoral life, led by great kings, great wise men, and superhuman ladies as extensively depicted in 18 Puranas and Ramayana and Mahabharata and thousands of other books. Actually, Manusmriti founded Hindu civilization was based on uninvolvement, as lotus leaf in the water, just like that, living life with immense prosperity, power and grace, in full freedom and peace, remaining unattached with each and everything of the world, developing Sakshi Bhav, witnessing of all doings which is done by the cosmic, the Virat, and I am only an instrument. Manusmriti-based lifestyle leads you to a level of consciousness of instrumentality of the cosmic Virat, my dear friends. So, therefore, the divine incarnate Bhagavan Sri Ram announced in the International Assembly, Bhuyo Bhuyo Bhavino Bhumipala, O future governments, O prime ministers and presidents, O chief ministers and commander-in-chiefs of the army and navy and air force and Supreme Court judges, and with folded palms and Natva Yachate Ramachandra, bending my head low in respect, this Ramachandra is asking you over and over to protect and preserve this 10-symptomed dharma bridge. Samanyayam dharma setur naranam kale kale paladiyo bhavadvi which is meant for material and spiritual progress of not only all human beings but all 8400 thousands of living beings of entire universe, expanded into not only 3D reality but throughout 4, 5, 6, 7 to 10D reality. Therefore, be literate, be educated into this Sanatana Dharma, and preserving and protecting and endearing it with all your might. The same way through Manu, he instructs Etadesha prasutasya sakashadagrajanmana Swe swam swam charitram shiksheran prithvyam sarvamanava. O human beings of all over the world, get literate, get educated into problems and suffering free dharma. And the lifestyle of enlightened Agrajana Brahmanas of the holy land of Bharatvarsha, and practice it and popularize it through a spirit of Krinvanto Vishwamaryam. Krinvanto Vishwamaryam. Krinvanto Vishwamaryam. All over the world, humanity will never know such wonderful days in the past, long before Islam and Christianity crept in. It is all well described by people visiting Bharatvarsha, now known as India, from different nations, seeing Hindu society through their own eyes, my dear friends. After trampling down of Muslim, Christians and Kongis and Sanghis, invaders, whatever is left in India are still mind-boggling and amazing, as well as far greater sacred and lots of wisdom tracers. Let me tell you in brief what foreign travelers and businessmen and writers and educationists and diplomats and even invaders who came to Bharat to plunder it 2500 years ago to 900 AD, I shall tell you what they said about Hindu society, which was completely based on Manu smriti, my dear friends. In India, we have volumes after volumes expounding historically, philosophically, and scientifically elaborated, interconnected and elaborated epics on Hindu society. But as far as Westerners are concerned, we find the first Greek doctor speaking on the Hindus in Artaxerxes about 404 BCE, before Christ. 404 years before Christ, my dear friends. He tells the high characters of the Hindus and their justice system, my dear friends. Second is Megasthenes, the ambassador of Seleucus at the court of Chandragupta Maurya, whom Western historians mention as Sandrocotus in Polybothra. correct name is Pataliputra. Nowadays it is known as Patna. Still a beautiful capital of Bihar state of India, located on the bank of Holy Ganga river. Megasthenes describes Hindu society don't need locks at their door because there are no thieves at all, no drugs, no drinks, no violence, no drugs and no drinking wine and no violence, all live in peace and happiness. That's what Megasthenes said. 7th century Chinese traveler Wen Song writes the Hindu distinguished by straightforwardness, their honesty and their just. In 11th century AD, Idris Shah, a Muslim invader, and in 13th century Marco Polo, and in 14th century a Christian friar, Jordanus, all have left in their writings. The Hindus are peaceful, honest, and have great harmony and grace among all four classes of people. No hatred, no exploitation, no conflict, complete peaceful coexistence I have seen. In 16th century, Abul Fazl, the minister of Akbar Badshah, writes in his Aile-Akbari that the Hindus are religious, cheerful, admirers of justice and truth. They are expert in commerce, and their soldiers know not what it is to fly from the field of battle. In 1882, Max Muller, lecturing in Cambridge University, England, praises the Hindus of India. Late 1800s, Warren Hastings says, Hindus are gentle and benevolent, faithful, affectionate people. Early 1900s, Bishop Haber says, Hindus are brave, courteous, intelligent, eager for wisdom and development into higher consciousness. Thomas Munro, in early 1900th century, in Cambridge, Bolden, Professor Wilson, and Colonel Sleeman have even a stronger testimonies, my dear friends. They said Hindus good system of agriculture and unrivaled manufacturing skills, capacity to produce and contribute, and expert in reading and writing and arithmetic, and even ladies are very wise and confident. The society is composed of four varnas and four classes. The four classes according to occupations. DNA based intellectuals and educated class, the Brahmanas, known as Brahmanas, and DNA based warriors are security in charge class, Kshatriya, and DNA based commerce and holy cow servers and businessmen class are Vaishyas, and the Shudra, the DNA based technicians, mechanists, this class was very hard worker. All joined together, working hard for national enlightenment, peace and prosperity, my dear friends. This is the history. This extraordinary greatness was brought by the laws of the philosopher King Manu, known as Manu Smriti. The question arises where Manu lived and ruled. Valmiki Ramayana informs us Manu Namana Vendena Yapuri Nirmita Swayam. That city was known as Ayodhya, still located in the bank of holy river Sarayu Nadi, situated on top of a triangle with Kashi, Prayag and Ayodhya. Okay, so that's it. Where Sri Ram temple is in the news all the time. Manu was the follower of a 10 symptoms DNA-based people's religion called Sanatana Dharma, which is now known as Hindu Dharma, roughly said Hinduism. Steadfastness, the 10 symptoms of Dharma means steadfastness, forbearance, inner and outer purity, and staying unirritated, unagitated, and unfrustrated even in rough and tough times. Fifth is full control over organs of actions and perceptions. And sixth is highly educated in Veda, Upanishad, Purana and Smriti literature. And seventh is intuitive with awakened inner wise, intellectual brilliance and snow white, milk white honesty in character. Eighth is ability of introspection. And tenth for Kshatriyas, expert in martial arts and use of supersonic weapons. So, Dhriti Kshama Damosteyam Shauchamindriya Nigraha Sri Vidya Satyamakrodho Dashakam Dharma Lakshanam. All Veda Puranas educated Brahmanas were powerful enough to give boon, infallible blessing, or if upset, then they were able to curse is sharpest weapon they cursed. All Kshatriyas were physically powerful enough and win even a tiger in dual fight. All Vaishyas were so rich that they never donated less than 1,000 gold dollars at a time. All Shudras were so refined technologists who produced and created so fast as if they were magicians. City of Ayodhya was 24 miles wide and 84 miles long, inhabited along the bank of most holy, transparent, water-filled Sarayu river, my dear friends. Creator Brahmaji has just completed 50 years of his age. And stupid painters and artists in India depict him as all white, bearded, rotten old man to rotten old person. That's not right. Brahmaji is as youthful as 51 years old. Short guy. That is so 51 years old, tall, majestic person. Very smart guy, is always busy, very efficient. He lives in his own planet, part of celestial reality. In the planet of Indra and Manu, 1 human year is 1 day, but in Brahma's planet, Our 4 billion years are his one day. He appoints 14 Indras and 14 Manus to operate his creation daily, every day. Humanity has seen 6 Indras and 6 Manus born, prospered, grown, and died. Our present day of Brahma is known as Shvetavara Kalpa. The first Manu was known as Swayambhu Manu. To fulfill his impossible wish, he was reborn in our Manvantara, known as Vayusut Manvantara in Ikshvaku dynasty in 60th generation in last legs of Treta Yuga about 1 million years ago. The recorded available history today is about this Ayodhya, where Swayambhu Manu was born as King Dasharath in Ayodhya, while the governing Manu was Vaivasut Manu. So each Manu's lifetime is 73,044,000 solar years, my dear friends. Only half of this time means only 35 million years of our seventh Manu has been spent so far now. So he is also very young, about 50 years old. Means our Manu is just 50 years old. During their world conquest, under the compulsory item of duty, when the armies of Sri Ram in Treta Yuga and armies of Krishna in Dwapar Yuga were in their world conquest tour, then they visited Manu and had a good conversation with him, and they received their blessings. Suppose if you cannot believe in such a complex calculation of time, then just remember Manu as a wise, a philosopher king of Ayodhya who wrote this book Manu Smriti, my dear friends. And this was revised and now it is present in our age. Seems like its languages seem like 2300 years old language. That is around about the time of Panini, the great grammarian Panini. His grammar is used in this book. So you cannot be a Christian until and unless you are baptized. You cannot be a Muslim until you undergo sunnat or khatna or vaginal mutilation. You cannot be a Hindu until you go through 16 sacraments, each one of which inject certain element of refinement and raising the level of consciousness up a little bit. It makes very difficult to be a Hindu because a few of the sacraments are to be done by parents before the birth of a baby. And if you are a baby, you are helpless. It all depends on the parents. Choosing 40 times and 40 days and 40 months may affect the child to be a pauper or luckless. So Garbhadhan Sanskar, impregnating sacrament, protects the baby from related havocs. Similarly, Vivah Sanskar is not just a nikah, paying for the bride, buying the bride. That's too bad. So, Da Sanskar is done after death, my dear friend. because Hindus believe life does not end with death. So, whichever life form he or she is, his well-wishers try to help or serve him or her through procedures Sanatan Dharma has discovered. Just as when you send a check, a money order, or an amount through internet banking, your money reaches the person even if he or she is in kitchen or in bathroom or anywhere else. It reaches him. Same way, when you have been follower of the law of Manu, if you are not a bastard, not an evildoer, then your offerings reaches the soul of departed ones, no matter which life form he or she is in, my dear friends. Okay? So, Manu is the first lawgiver, he is jurist. His religio-legal treatise of Manusmriti means norms of behavior, rules of transactions, or Vyavhar Shastra, or scripture of human behavior to inject humanity in the consciousness of two-legged animal, as Plato said. As Chanakya said, that dharmena hina pashubhi samana. Manusmriti is a work of encyclopedic scope, my dear friends. Its universality acclaimed as a work of great ethical, social, and legal values. It consists of almost 2,500 verses on various topics interrelated to Hindu life and thought, an outstanding sociological work of ancient India with an unusually comprehensive outlook, my dear friends. It provides most influential construction of Hinduism and the organization of Hindu society. No study of Hindu life from individual to family to the ultimate freedom in Kaivalya or Parabhakti or Brahma Nirvana can bypass Manusmriti except Michaelite brainwashed robot masquerading as fake seculars. How can one dare to bypass duties and obligations and standard of his or her conduct as an ideal member of human society at a certain stage of his community? According to Manu, Hindu is he or she who has undergone through 16 purificatory sacraments according to his age, his or her age. Secondly, Manu believes in one single supreme personality of Godhead who can be unmanifest formless as H2O. As H2O becomes water, so also he manifests as effulgent light. And as water freezes, becomes snow with many shapes and forms, the supreme ultimate truth, the Godhead, also incarnates in various names and forms. Ekam sad vipra bahudha vadanti. Truth is one, wise call it by various names. Okay? So the secret of the smoothest administration of philosopher King Manu is the wise DNA-based classification of human society in intellectual Brahmana, warrior, Kshatriya, warriors, and businessmen, Vaishya, and technologist, Shudra. According to psychological development in age, brahmacharya, the student life, grihastha and householder life, vanaprastha and sannyas, these four ashramas were organized. So Hinduism is also known as varnashram dharma, my dear friends. So Manusmriti is common sense, codified, are commonly accepted and practiced norms of Satyugi Hindus, social conduct, even if it's one